had to really build a fake version of myself in order to succeed.
I remember saying, I'm like, but what if I enjoy my 9 to 5?
Yeah, that's my point. She's like, this is whack. Okay. But I've never said no.
I add more when I know how to impact.
Welcome back to Success After Dark podcast.
Success after dark.
My brother Vlad's gonna be my co-host, and today we got a duo, 2-in-1 package.
For those of you guys that
Buy one, get one free.
we finally have women back on the show. We're not misogynists.
Yeah, we need more women.
Alhamdulillah,
What's going on?
this is God's work.
We need more women.
So
More women.
we're gonna talk.
More women.
We have
2023.
we have Dre. Her actual name is Sandra.
Okay, why you gotta do that every time, bro?
Because they
How
need
come-
it.
in action.
You could just end it at Dre.
Sandra, when I met you, what was your name?
Khalas.
See?
It's Dre for the people.
We taught her. I taught her Arabic at the club, brother. And we have
Hello.
and we have Jasmine Elizabeth on the pod as well. So me, Jasmine, and Dre, we've been friends for how long now?
Like 9 years.
Yeah,
9
no,
years.
It's been almost
Been
a
a while.
decade.
Should we tell the story? I love telling it.
Oh, okay. Wait, I want to hear your version of the story because I've never heard your
I
version.
always tell it. I always say the
Well, I
story.
apologize for not listening. So
Wow.
Go ahead.
Okay, so pretty much, we were all 3 of us were
Yeah.
working at a club. Should we say the name?
No.
Okay.
It's better
Well,
that
it's
way.
no longer the same name.
Whatever, just leave the name out.
Anyway,
Rhymes with soda.
Okay, we were working at a Spanish club. It reminds what with soda rhymes with
Rhymes
soda.
with
Okay,
soda.
just keep
It's a
going.
good one. Okay, anyways, so we all worked at the same Spanish nightclub. Okay,
Yeah.
she was a
And it only made sense for Jasmine because we're not Latino.
that is true.
she was a bartender. I was the bottle girl, and he was our bus boy. So if you guys don't know what a bus boy is,
Or bar back.
or barback,
Yeah.
he pretty much. So I would bring out the bottles, and then he would clean up the glasses,
I still can't picture you doing that,
and
bro.
he would put it in a bucket.
like
Side note, I was good at it.
and he
side
I
note.
don't do anything is how you do everything.
Brother, I
I'm
was
gonna
good
tell
at
you,
it.
he was the
Lies.
best bus boy barback.
Listened, bro.
All of them.
Even when she was yelling
Out
at
of-
me, I was listening.
He was the worst out of them.
No, because
What?
it was
Really?
my first night. No, because it was my first night my first night ever
Brother.
working. I've never touched alcohol my entire life. She was my bar, and she was giving me attitude. But I got to know her. No, not crazy attitude, but she was like, "Oh, get the Heineken." I don't know what a Heineken is. I don't know what a Heineken is. So I have to go ask the owner, what does a Heineken look like? It's the green one, Rakan. The Heineken is the green one. Okay. Corona, how does Corona look like? It's the yellow one. Okay. The Canada one. It's this one. Okay. So it was my first night.
Yeah.
Sandra, relax.
And then listen, I think he was the best busboy for me. And so then he asked me one day, and he was like, Jasmine, what's this Forex thing that you do? What's the squiggly stuff that you do? Tell me more. And I'm like, just come out to the event. I didn't even tell him anything about it. I just told him, come out to the event. And but you know what I was really good at? Because at that time I had no idea about anything. I was like new to the business, okay?
Nice.
But what I was really good at was relating to people. And I think the reason why Rakan related to me was because I did a lot of personal development, and he's seen that. And
we
he
read
was,
similar books.
He was, yes, and he was in his personal development phase.
Yeah.
And so I seen that, and I'm like, we would talk more. I'm like, I would talk to him, like books and personal development and stuff like that. And then he was like so intrigued. I feel like I'm just really good at relating with people. I see what we can relate on, and then that's how I kind of like wheeled him in.
I remember that.
And then he came out to an event, and
So Jasmine recruited Rakan into network marketing.
yeah,
That's
pretty
crazy.
much.
And now It's a Uno reverse card.
Yeah, literally.
And Jasmine is in Rakan's downline.
Yeah.
Circle of
Wow.
life. The circle of life.
So I left, okay? I left for personal reasons. I don't know if we should get into that.
No,
but
we're not gonna get into that.
Fast forward to minute number 35.
They're policing. No.
Fast forward to minute
I am-
number 35.
I am PR. We're gonna skip that part. Okay.
And so he was in my downline first, and then I left the organization, and then he just went off.
Blew up. Yeah.
He blew up, 7-figure earner out of nowhere, and we came back, and now I'm in his downline.
And I was like, I remember the day you got inducted into the MD, not
Yeah,
MDC,
$1
the $1 million
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And I called you. I don't know if you remember. I was driving and I FaceTimed you. And that was the moment that I was like, holy shit, Rakan's actually good. because like I knew you were good, but like that was the moment that I was like, this little immigrant barback
Yeah.
that
didn't even from Saudi, didn't even barely even knew English, is now making $1 million.
No, but trust me.
And
no,
I was
can
like,
can
yo.
can I add to that? Because you didn't see the process from when he first started. Like I seen everything when he first spoke in front of a camera, and how many takes we had.
Oh,
like
you want to share that story?
20 million takes until the
Sandra
end.
is a bad one.
I was so not patient anymore. I was impatient. I'm like, yeah. It's good.
It's good.
It's a good one. It's good. It's good.
It's good.
We go from
After
there.
30 takes, this is a good one. This is the one.
But I want to go back to the bar though, because
Yeah.
in my opinion, you were one of the shittiest barbacks.
Thank you,
Okay,
appreciate that.
I loved you. I loved
Thank
him.
you.
We that's
Appreciate
where we became good friends. We cracked jokes. You actually got me into personal development too.
That story we're gonna mention. I'm gonna go deep in that story.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll leave that one for you.
Yeah.
But I always said he was a shitty barback, and I'll tell you why. This man was never meant to be employed. That's just what I think. He was never meant to be employed because every time I ask him to do something, and this is not the first night. This is like months in when you already know what you're doing. You're like we used to have this thing where people would get like a bucket of Coronas, and they would pay extra just to have them in a bucket with ice. And so it's good because you get extra tips and shit,
that. I
right?
remember that.
So I used to tell him, Rakan, go get a bucket, fill it with ice. He's like, why I gotta give him a bucket? Just give it him the beers, man. Like I gotta give him a bucket. Like every time it was like he was annoyed every time I asked him to do something. He's like, I gotta do this. Fuck. Okay, like he was just so annoyed.
It was 3 attacking me to do something.
But who tipped you well though? Tell him.
Sandra.
Me or Jazz?
Oh, Sandra times 10. Actually, times 100.
Let's not talk about that.
No, for real. But look, there's
Abundance,
one
baby.
point because we're gonna go into your stories. But there's one point. I'll never forget this day, bro. I have a video of me and that night that I shared with you. We shared about personal development. I have a video of her. I think we were working together, and then, bro, at the end of the night, it was like after we cleaned up, she comes up to me, she's like, Khan, I feel like I'm a little lost, and then we kind of kicked it off to start talking about personal development. She's like, oh, you read books and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I'm the guy that got me into personal development and then into financial books that would led me to ask Jasmine what she was doing was Ty Lopez, and then she
At the
went
time
on,
you were taking Ty Lopez's course and watching that
67
video,
67
every day.
steps, yeah. So it was 67 steps, one video a day for 67 days, and Ty was going into a lot of things, and Ty kind of disappeared the past couple of years off social media, but I recently watched a podcast he did, and he still had the same effect on me. Like, I don't know what it is with Ty. When he speaks, bro, I just like stop. The whole world stops.
He's
around
captivating,
me.
yeah.
He's like, and like one of the things that he was talking about was a walk, not a walking desk. He's like, humans are not meant to sit down, right? So he's like, people that sit down a lot, they hurt their health, and 1 hour a day, going to jog and stuff is not going to help it. And I'm like, yo, that is so true. So he recommended a walking desk, which is like
those are popular now.
Yeah. If you stand and it's like a
treadmill.
Yeah, a treadmill.
I've
Yeah,
seen
it's a small
that. I wanna
treadmill
do
that
that.
you're walking on. But then I'm like, okay, and then I want to order it, and there was like $1,000. And then Armin looks at me like, brother, you're never gonna use this.
I want to do it.
You're very valid, my brother. But then the next day, 2 days after, man, I'm sitting down. It was like maybe 9 a.m. And the reason why I don't like gymming, I used to gym early in the morning. Wake up, go to the gym right away. And then I stopped liking it because time difference and my Middle Eastern team, I have to kind of be up at a certain time just to, because they start the day as soon as I wake up. I'm like, and then I want to be able. I'm like anxious to respond to messages. I want to get back to the team. I want to respond. I want to set the tone for the whole team. And what happened is I just had an idea. I'm like, why don't I just go downstairs to the gym and just respond to my messages while I walk? Yeah. While I walk on the treadmill, just put on an incline and just walk for 20 minutes. And after like the first day that I did it, I didn't even like. I looked once, it was 5 minutes. I looked again, it was 25 minutes. Yeah. But I responded to all the messages and I did everything and I was drenched and I felt so good, man. So right now, every morning, like,
and that was Ty re-inspiring you?
And it's Ty, I'm telling you, Ty has a thing with me, man. Yeah. Just like when he
Imagine
speaks.
recording on a Zoom training on a walking desk while he's doing the Zoom training. Going in, like
I love, but I want to go.
And after that, we went to 10X together. Remember?
Yes, we did. In Las Vegas, we went to 10X. Yeah. That was like, this is when I first the first time seeing Ed Milet, first time seeing Brad Lee,
that was one of the best, in my opinion. That was the best 10X
he's ever had.
100%.
Not because I've been to a lot of them except like one or two. That was the one. He's the best he's ever had in terms of value and
also people. I feel like because later on after that time they started getting cheaper. Yeah. Like you could get tickets for like $100 or $200. Correct. So the quality of people at that event, like I still talk to people that I met at that event.
I remember that. It was good. Yeah. I actually messaged Henny the other day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Him and the other guy. What's his name?
Forgot his name.
They're still in. I think they're still in business together. Yeah, they do like Facebook ads.
It was dope. But I wanna go into your own stories because I know your stories, but people don't. Let's start with Dre. Dre, were you born here?
No. Serbia.
Yeah. And when did you come here?
1999.
Like how old were you?
6 years old.
6 years old. But technically, like I just feel like you're so multicultural. Like you're so deep into not one community, many communities. Right? Yeah. Like I remember when we were like, I taught her a couple of words in the club of Arabic, and I'm surprised how she remembers. Yeah, like fakir yamar. Like so to me,
it means shut up, you donkey.
No, think you donkey.
Oh, thank you, donkey. I would say that at the club when he would do something wrong. I'd be like, fakir yamar.
And bro, when she says it, I'm like, how do you remember? Do you know how many like people shared with me like a language, bro, and I can't remember. So that I feel like that you have just this multicultural thing and I feel like you relate to a lot of people as well. But let's go, back in the days with Sandra, you've done a lot of things.
Yeah, a lot.
Like lots of things, and I would like you to share kind of story, kind of where it got started, kind of what triggered everything, because you weren't broke necessarily.
No,
like your business was generating money, but you chose a different path for passion, which I don't think a lot of people have the option to, or not many people have the courage to actually do that. So I want you to kind of go through that.
Yeah. So before I got into network marketing, I'd been an entrepreneur for about 7 years with a lot of shitty ass businesses. And then one did well, okay? Yeah. One did well, which was my HVAC business, heating and air conditioning. In my first year, I got a $600,000 contract. Nice. That was like a big deal. Like I remember taking a photo, like a selfie with the picture of the check. Yeah. When I got the biggest check I ever got in my life.
That's a big check.
It was like.
So how much? What's the percentage that you would make out of that?
I made the company itself.
The company,
made around a little under 100K.
Nice.
Yeah. Off that, and yeah. And anyways, but I took a picture with one of the checks, and one of the checks was like 260K because they pay in installments, right? Yeah. And there was one that was like really big, one installment, because it goes based on like the equipment, blah, blah, blah. And I remember taking a selfie with it because it was like such a big deal, especially because I was really young and I was a woman in a male-dominated industry. So I was doing well. Like honestly, I was doing well. Like I wouldn't say that the business was matured yet. It was still in the first few years, but it definitely had a lot of potential. And I was doing good. I was building my network, but I really just hated it. Like I was not happy. It was very difficult to motivate myself. It was like I always felt like I was very alone, even though I had my family. I had my dad, who's also in the same industry, supporting me. At one point I had an employee who was like my right hand. in the office. So I was doing good, but I was just really unhappy. And I think, number one, it was an industry that I wasn't passionate about whatsoever. I was only doing it because it was the logical next step, right? I'd worked for my dad's company while I was in uni, and it's the only thing I really knew. So I was like, okay, like this is the only thing I can really start a company in. So I just did it. I didn't genuinely, like, I didn't wake up thinking about freaking rooftop units and shit like that, And then also I felt very lonely. And I remember seeing Jazz, and Jazz was only about a month from starting WFAB, something like that. And I saw them online, and I saw them like sitting around in like this desk, and everybody was like,
Kumbaya.
Literally. That desk always gets everybody. I swear.
Look at her, freaking marketing queen, bro. And at the time I already knew like kind of what she was doing. Because we were friends, we were in a mastermind. Remember, I put her in my mastermind.
Yeah, I remember.
At the time, because I was lonely, so I tried to start. Anyway, I'm talking too long, but pretty much I saw them in like this like room, and they were talking about their goals, and they were crying, and they were like, I don't know what it was. It just hit me, bro, because I was so
Marketing
lonely.
101.
No, but you guys literally, they were real tears. Like, I remember the people in the video, and I was really lonely at the time. Like I created a mastermind with female entrepreneurs because I was so freaking lonely building my business. I felt so alone, and I felt so much like a fraud because I had to really build a fake version of myself in order to succeed in HVAC. Like the loud, the crazy, the vegan, the swearing, the vulgarness. Like I couldn't show that shit because people wouldn't take me seriously, right? I automatically was like a leg down because I was a woman and I was young in a male-dominated industry. So I couldn't afford to let them really see me, Like when I would go on network, they would ask me for my Instagram. I'm like, I don't have an Instagram. Because I'm like, if you see my titties on my Instagram, you're not going to do business with me. Like, So when I saw the network marketing, when I saw what they were doing, what I fell in love with was the fact that they were doing it together. And then once I got in, I was like, whoa, you can actually make money from like being yourself.
Yeah.
I thought that was like groundbreaking for me. Like, and that's like, I felt like when I joined network marketing, it felt like somebody literally injected me with freaking passion, like in my veins. I was always motivated, and I thought I knew what passion was, but I never really knew what passion was until I joined network marketing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Wow.
That's kind of how I got in.
That's
Love
dope.
it.
And you
And hold on.
Yeah.
Jazz never recruited me.
No.
I actually messaged her. I remember I was in California and I was heading back, and I said, I'm in, teach me everything. That's it. I never got on an op call. She never pitched me. She never did because she was scarred.
Amazing.
Jasmine calls me bragging. Guess who I recruited?
Are you serious?
I'm thinking Jasmine recruited, I don't know, bro. Came to my upline. Like, I don't know who she's like, Dre, Sandra. Like Sandra. So I'm like, oh.
So you guys
Sandra.
met at Moda?
Yeah, at the club.
Yeah.
Soda,
but
sorry.
I knew right away, I'm like, oh, Sandra just is going to be good at this, bro.
Yeah.
I wish Sandra was in my downline.
And you were in the business while you were at the club? While working at the club? You guys were working together, co-workers at the
No,
club?
this was after.
This is after.
I'll tell you the timeline.
But
I think it was after.
How did you guys meet?
At the club.
At the club.
But
Yeah,
we
right.
got close because we went on a trip together. Yeah.
And
Wait, the Miami one?
the one where
Yeah.
I got my
Yeah.
titties
At
done?
10X.
Yeah.
So the first time I went to 10X, I went with her. The second time I went to 10X, I went with her. But she only really went because she was
What'd
trying
you
to get her
expect,
titties
Rakan?
done.
Yeah, and she
What do you
took good
expect,
care of
Rakan?
me.
We'll release the halal version next
But
time.
no, and
But wait. Moral of the story, go to 10X with people because like it'll fucking change your life.
Yeah,
It's true.
100%.
So Jazz, well, because you're the connector. So let's
Always the connector.
you're always the plug.
I'm the best at that. I'm
Yeah.
the plug,
So
I'm
let's
the connector.
go back. Let's do the timeline because you joined network marketing is a year or 2 years before me.
A year and a half before.
But before that, who was because I never asked you this. Who was Jasmine before network marketing?
Lost a little girl for sure. That was who I was.
And bro, there's two things that have shocked me about Jasmine. Number one, she had a twin that doesn't look like her.
That's your twin?
Yeah, my twin
Brother.
Yeah, fraternal.
Brother, I swear to God,
My sister.
I knew Jasmine for a whole year, never knew she had a twin. One time, she pops up with her twin at my parents' house.
But
So
did
she's
you know
like, "This
her
is my
twin
sister."
actually recruited her?
Yeah.
Well, this was the second twist. So the first twist is first of all, I didn't know she had a sister, let alone it was so in my head she's, you know, her
It's
sister's
because
older than
they're
her.
so different.
Yeah, so, but even, I'm talking
Me and
just
her twin, I went on vacation with her and her twin.
Yeah.
And I got along better with her friend, her twin than I did her, because me and her twin are so similar.
Very.
Like, we were
And-
cracking jokes and Jasmine was just on the side like, what are you guys talking about?
And bro, it was crazy because like the first thing was, oh, you had a sister. Okay, cool. The second, because I thought she was older. She's like, oh, and that's my twin. I'm like, so twin, same time twin? Or is it twin a year
4
apart
minutes.
twin? No. 4
Damn.
minutes. Giselle is 4 minutes older.
Is she older?
Older.
Yeah.
4 minutes older. So that was the first one. And then when and then another step, this was like after a couple, because she didn't give it to me one shot. It was a couple months after, right? It's like, oh, you know, she recruited me to network marketing. Wait, your twin sister that's not twin? Yes. Great. Good to know. So, but it was like very interesting to me. So before network marketing, you were lost.
So before network marketing, I pretty much was very ignorant to network marketing. Like
Yeah.
my sister was in network marketing probably 2 years before she recruited me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she would host home events, and she would always try to recruit me, and I was so ignorant about it.
I never knew that. 2 years before you.
Yeah, 2 years before, 2 years or 1 year,
And
for you for sure.
And it's 2 years. What's the timeline? What are we talking about? What's the timeline?
So like 2017, I think was
No,
when
2017 when I got started.
So 2016, 2014, she was in it 2014, then I was in it 2015,
Wow.
2016. So I was very ignorant to it. I remember I was sitting in the living room and they were pitching us like the presentation and everything on the TV and everything. And you know, the spiel of, you know, you don't have to work a 9 to 5 and
Were you a 9 to 5 person?
And then I remember saying, I'm like, but what if I enjoy my 9 to 5?
Yeah, that's my
Then
point.
what?
Girl, you never enjoyed a 9 to 5 in your life.
I know, but I was so ignorant.
So did you have a 9 to 5 at that point?
Yeah, I did.
Where did you work?
At Burrito Boys head office.
Okay, that's not bad.
What if I enjoy Burrito Boy's head office?
Yeah,
What if I like quesadillas?
I know, I can't
the steak
believe.
quesadilla was
So
actually,
good. So
it was
good.
fire.
No,
So-
but Jazz could never keep a job.
So,
Like, she never.
Never.
okay, so you
never.
hopped
That's
through
why I'm like,
jobs.
what a
All
stupid
the
thing to
time.
say.
But because I was so ignorant, because I was like always trying to rebut. I remember I was there just like with my arms crossed, like trying to like
Oh,
rebuttal.
you're the employee I would fire.
And I was.
It's always the skeptical ones that get sold that fucking kill
But it's
it,
like,
bro.
I'm like, why was I saying that?
So-
Because I'm like, why are they
confused.
trying to convince me out of a 9 to 5? Like, I just was
Oh,
so
out of a
ignorant.
9 to 5, yeah,
Yeah. And then after, I remember my sister joined a second network marketing company, which
Okay.
was the company that I joined.
Yeah, yeah.
And she bribed me to go. I remember she's like, we're having an event. This is different from what I was doing before.
So the first one was a drink one.
The first one was World Ventures.
Travel.
Yeah, travel. Yeah.
Rest in peace, World Ventures.
Yeah,
But
I know.
anyway, continue on.
Yeah, it's out of business. I know. And then the second one was financial education MLM.
Yeah.
And she bribed me and she was like, hey, we're having a presentation. You need to come out to it. This is different, whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'm down, whatever. And I totally forgot about it. She knew I was going to forget about it.
Okay.
So so she calls me. She's like, remember the event is today? And I'm like, oh my God, I totally forgot. And I was about to like cancel. She's like, don't worry, I'm on my way picking you up right now.
Oh.
That one.
She knew, bro.
And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll come.
So at that point, you were living alone?
I was, no, I was with an ex-boyfriend at the time,
Oh, okay.
living with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she picked me up. We went to the presentation. She wasn't presenting. She was just the inviter, bringing everybody in.
Yeah.
And the presenter was Kane.
My guy.
And Kane pretty much sold me. And
You know, his video is the most viral video we have on
really?
Sisters of Lark,
Because he's a really good speaker.
Yeah.
That's what sold me.
Yeah.
He's
On the
a
podcast?
really
On the
good
podcast,
presenter.
Yeah, he's a really good speaker.
Yeah.
So I was, and also because I knew Kane from before that too. He used to be a promoter at the club. So me seeing him present, and I'm just like, oh, you're having success here, and you're actually a really good speaker. And
Yeah.
so that's kind of what got me. I was like, okay, let's try it out.
Interesting.
Let's try
That
this
was
out.
the born of Pretty Money.
Yes.
See how I remember?
I had a little movement called Pretty Money prior to WFAB. Pretty Money. It worked for a bit, then it just like I built teams, lost team, built teams, lost teams.
Yeah.
Every lost team I grew. It was a new version of myself, born like a new version of myself was born per team that was.
So were
lost.
you like any of the jobs you've had? Were there any of them were sales?
One, which was
Okay.
Virgin Mobile. I sold phones.
So my point is, were you good at sales?
No.
Okay.
I
Not at all.
cannot even imagine you working a job.
But Sandra, you were good at sales. I feel like you're sold through your
No.
personality. No.
What? I've never done sales. I actually always thought I was horrible at sales
Yeah,
before
I
getting
hated
into
sales.
HVAC is sales, no?
Yeah, but it's different because it is sales, but it's different because I did more like
You know,
I didn't
selling
like tell you
bottles
the-
at the club.
Let me tell you a little story about Dre when she first joined
Yeah.
WFAB. She comes into her first presentation and she invited like 10 people. And after the presentation, she sat down with everyone and she told all of them,
well, only 4 came just to say, but yeah.
okay. And she sat down.
Had
She's
7
like,
confirmed.
right away. I'm not trying to sell you. I'm not trying to sell you. But this is the information, but I'm not trying to sell you. And I'm like, babe, you don't
I
have
said
to
it like
say
7
that.
times,
I'm
yeah.
not trying to sell you. I'm not trying to sell you. Okay. I'm not trying to sell you. Just so you know.
Yeah, I had a
I'm
big-
not trying to sell you. I'm
I
like,
had a huge limiting belief around sales,
Yeah.
a huge one.
Yeah.
Even in my first company, I wasn't actually good at sales. My mom
Yeah.
was my first customer, and I didn't really have any real customers until like 4 or 5 months in. Even though I hit ranks, I would just buy volume. That's how bad I was.
yeah, she was pretty bad.
I was good at recruiting though, but not
Okay.
sales.
What does that mean? So you just buy products?
Buy the products.
Yeah,
And
you
you'd
can't
have like
can't
a-
do that in
You
our
have
company.
to have a mix of customers and distributors.
So
in
you'd
the
have like a
company.
stash of like your products in the.
Yeah, I was just like, buy.
Like
Like,
a-
mom, you need anything? Like,
Mom, we
I
got
mean,
shampoo for 2 years.
Anybody
The
wants anything?
anti-MLMers that got a hold of this video.
No, but that's just my first few months. It's facts because I didn't know. After that, I was so sick of being trash at sales, and I was already like a leadership rank, and I was like, "Hey, this is fucking embarrassing. Like, I can't even sell." And I had a very limiting belief around sales that I just hyper focused on learning how to sell.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was on top. I was never
Yeah.
less than top 5
Yeah.
in sales.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So after that, you joined, did Pretty Money, and then you stuck around. I got recruited,
And then I left.
and then you left. You started something else, and then Reverse Card
Came back.
came back, but stronger,
Stronger.
more mature,
Oh,
better speaker, better culture, better a lot of things. Just because you know,
I just stepped into my leadership. I think I was.
Yeah.
That was when
you've
I
always had a
grew-
leadership role. I remember, bro. Jasmine's my. Jasmine, so I was just not good on social media. Not, bro. Like
At all.
She used to
social
bully
media
you,
was
eh?
not, bro.
I would
when
create all his
say
content.
This, like, I put something. She's like, this is whack. I'm like, what? Why the bullying, bro? Can you just tell me it's not good.
What would he,
Like,
what would he
why-
do? What would he do, for example?
First
No, like,
of all,
it was-
why are you showing
But
your
keep in mind-
muscles?
Keep in mind, he's an
He still,
immigrant.
he still does that.
He was an immigrant.
No, but I was at, I
he
worked
was like
at a gym.
this.
I was-
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you showed me those ones.
First of all, sir, let's make 6 figures first.
Or he was like
Before-
staring at the camera. And going,
Yeah.
I was working at the gym, bro. So all my content was like, it's not even content it's just content. It's I'm putting up a video.
Yeah.
And she's like, this is whack. Okay. But I've never said no. I've never
He was
said
very
no.
coachable. Very, very
I would
coachable.
do it right away.
Yeah.
I think that you've always been very coachable. Like
Very.
even times when we've given you feedback, you always absorb it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It doesn't mean you always do it, but you always absorb
Oh, thank
everything
you.
that anybody
Appreciate
says to you.
appreciate that.
Jazz, question for you, Jazz.
Yeah.
And you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I think you don't actually, at the end of things, regret leaving and coming back. But do you regret leaving and coming back and having Rakan, in your business, and then after leaving and coming back being in his business?
Good question.
I people have asked me this, and I never really looked at it that way, where if I were to never leave, it would be a totally different story with my volume. But I've never really thought about it because honestly, I needed to go through what I needed to go through in order to be the woman that I am today. So I don't regret it. I think if I would have stayed,
I don't think you would have stepped into who you
I
are.
don't,
today.
I don't think
because
W5 would have
truthfully,
existed.
yeah.
No,
Truth,
because I
would not
would.
exist.
The thing is like now it really forced me to.
And me and Kane matured a lot, bro, to be
Yeah.
able to lead a team like W5.
Yeah, yeah.
To be honest, as you being my primary mentor, you were so fucking good that I never realized how shitty you were in your past. Like how until I heard the
Great.
stories. Once I heard the
I
stories,
was bad.
no,
Yeah.
like once I heard the stories and like I put together the pieces, like damn, like you fucking glowed up. Because
Jazz-
to me, she was a phenomenal mentor.
Yes. Jazz, and to me as well, bro. Jazz, like I've had a lot of stupid ideas, bro. Lots of them. And she just goes, okay, let's do it. Okay, so like one of the ideas I'll never forget, bro. She's like, I messaged her. I'm like, Jasmine, I have a crazy idea, and
Where-
she
when you
knows,
went
bro.
to Saudi Arabia.
Well,
That
that's
one
the
too.
second. Sorry.
I think- wasn't it
that's-
Egypt?
And recruited.
No, it was Saudi,
recruited
man.
this many people.
Zero. Came back with
No,
nothing.
but there's one time I messaged her and I'm like, why don't you walk around York and do a survey?
Oh, yeah.
And for some reason she said yes.
Yeah.
She comes to me, bro, 3 hours, walk around school,
Yeah, both of us.
asking questions to people, taking their phone numbers, like talking to everybody, like, what do you know about Forex? Nothing. What's your financial? Nothing. Amazing. So we will contact you as a company. And we acted like we
Wow.
have this.
We went
Bro,
around.
Yeah, and it's just every time I've had an idea, she was always like,
Down.
for it, like, yes, let's do it. Yes, let's do it. Oh, marketing, let's just do it. Oh, this, let's just do it. And I'm you know me. My brain has not changed, bro. I've had the similar. I watched something. Oh, it's okay, idea, and she was always like just there. Yes, let's do it. Yes, do this. Yes, do that. Now, and I've like a lot of people ask me. Like I had a guy reach out to me recently. He's like, man, like a lot of my leaders are females. And I'm like, and what, bro? What's your point? Like, my leader was always
Well,
a
women
female.
are better at network marketing than men,
Well, I'm not, it's like,
statistically.
Ooh, it's a fact though.
okay, well, that's not my point. Relax. Just let me finish my point. So
Sorry.
my point is I'm like, bro, like I've been led by females, and I know, bro, if a man recruited me in my beginnings, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Really?
Because he wouldn't be as patient as Jazz was with me. Because I was a crazy
Thank you,
kid, bro.
sir.
Crazy
what
kid
would
with
you
1,000
say
ideas.
What
But you know
advice-
why? Because I went through a lot. I went through my deck of cards.
Yeah.
And I found my ace, and I appreciated my ace.
Yeah.
And that's why, and that's actually my tip for a lot of people, because a lot of people go through people who are not serious, who quit, who are not on the same page, who don't match energy, and they get discouraged because they're like, what's going on? Why can't I find people like me?
Yeah.
I always say, go through the deck of cards and you will find your ace. And when you do find your ace, you're going to appreciate them so much more, and you'll know exactly what to do with them when you do. So
I
when the
agree.
ace presents itself, you will be ready.
You'll be ready. Yeah.
I feel like sometimes the ace, they have like a little sparkle,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like in the beginning, they have this little sparkle that kind of gives you a hint that they might be
That
like.
they might be.
Did
and I
Rakan
think
have the sparkle?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah?
I've
Because
seen him.
He was obsessed with journaling and
Oh,
personal.
like I was like shocked that he did this. He did more than I did. He was so organized. He check marked everything that he did in his day. He wanted to go meet up at a Starbucks coffee to game plan. I'm like, this is like a dream come true. This is my dream.
But it took
superstar.
some time for Rakan to.
For it to come to fruition, of course. Yeah. And that's where the patience
So
comes
you had
into
a
play.
question?
Yeah. My question was, what advice would you give to men that are currently being led by women?
Man, just know what a woman is good at and utilize that. I knew Jasmine had 2 superpowers, bro. The social media one, she knew what would generate leads.
And now you're so fucking good at social media.
It's because and she knew how to she's like, you would be good following this guy. She sends me an Instagram. You would be good for in not mimicking, but yes, being
Inspired
this person can inspire you. Yeah. So I learned a lot about like how to look at things from Jazz, and the culture thing. But she always made me feel, and bro, I was a rebel. Egotistical rebel, bro.
Arrogant.
A lot.
I would always tell him,
and
tone
she
it
always tone it down, Rakan. Like this can be done not in this place. Like this is in the wrong time, in the wrong place, right? So if a man is led by a woman, just understand they have superpowers different than what men has. Men, like I'll tell you, I can drive no matter what's happening in my life. I can just drive. I can just go. I can keep going. I can create things out of nothing. I can be watching a movie like, oh my God, this is a great idea.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And I'm more of an action guy. If something in my mind, I need to do it. This is how we started the podcast.
Yeah.
I came back from the Middle East. I was destroyed mentally, physically, everything, health, especially health-wise. 2 things I'm like, we need to start tonight. The gym, we need to start, and we need to start the podcast.
Love.
All these guys,
I
bro.
love that.
There's
he's like, I don't care how, we're doing it.
We're doing
like,
it.
At Pandemic was the same thing.
Oh, I think.
But that's
That was an idea that started in his head. And he's
My
like,
God,
it's gonna
at
happen.
Pandemic.
But that's exactly why
took
you're
my soul.
successful, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly why you're successful, because one thing that I always think that is my setback is that I think too much. And maybe you're
Yeah, me
like,
too.
maybe you're the same because
100%.
you're a green. Our brain is like a fucking Excel spreadsheet with a million
What is
equations.
a
and
green? Explain to them what is a green.
I'm saying our brains are like an Excel spreadsheet with a million equations, and we think of every possibility. And we have to know everything to everything. And then what happens is that you stay in analysis paralysis and you don't get to action. And there's never enough reading. There's never enough learning. There's never enough theory that you're gonna know that's gonna actually make you good. It's the actions. Like when you just jump in,
Just gotta
and
do
you
the doing.
figure it. You'll figure it out. The faster you jump in, the faster you figure it out.
Yeah.
Right. But the problem is that a lot of green brains like mine, we think we want it to be perfect, want it to be like this, want it to be like that. And then whereas this guy or somebody else, I'm not saying you specifically, but somebody could be way less intelligent and way more successful because they get to action quicker than you. And through action, they find what the right way is.
But here's your superpower. If I contradict you a little bit, you have a way to just finish things with details, bro.
Yeah.
Like I need a
Attention to detail.
Sandra in my life. This is why I have you. I'm just saying. Relax, calm down.
Vlad's like, what about me?
Like,
what about me?
Vlad, we were doing the
please.
new
No, but
presentation.
this
and I'm
podcast
like,
wouldn't
bro,
work without Vlad.
Yes,
Yeah.
And it wouldn't work without Rakan
So,
either. Like it's
a-
complementary.
it's a duo. Yin and yang.
I'm like, I need, because I'm the idea, but I will finish 20% of the idea. The rest, somebody needs to handle this because it's out of my hands.
That's literally Dre.
I needed that Dre. I promise you, I've had, I don't know how many assistants. It's like I'm looking for now. My new assistant is like this. Like I'd say this is an idea. She keeps bothering me until it's done.
Yeah,
And
it's
like,
not something you can
I pay
teach.
you more? Yeah, you can't teach
It's
it.
not. Yeah, it's
can't
just
teach
you
it.
either have it or you don't.
Yeah, and
to
my
me-
old assistant, I had to bro,
Yeah.
come on.
And the people that have it, they like itch. Like they're like, if something's not the way that they want it, they're like itching. Like, why the fuck is it not the way they want it? And it's same thing with me and Jazz. She is like so anti numbers and like details and all the little things where I'm like, that's like what I'm good
And I
at.
think that compliments.
But I think I definitely think I would be way more successful if I was more action, less brain.
I feel like you if I'm a green, if I was to be a green, I would just
do the doing.
no. Other than that, I would find a lot of. I guess I'm a red. I guess is what they call me.
Find a red.
I would figure out I will get an upline to help me recruit some reds into my team.
Yeah.
So they would be like, I would just be able to. And I am telling you, the 2 things that really like I had to focus on last year is delegation, because I can't take on anything, because prior to 2020, 2021, I can figure out stuff by myself. Like you guys see me, like I just act. Oh, we have a new product.
Yeah.
and I'll tell nobody about it. I think in my head, I talked to you guys and we had a conversation and it was amazing. And this is in my dreams, right? But on action, it just never happens. But last year was a year, I need to stop doing everything by myself. I need hands to help me, because there's no way we're going to take this to
the next level.
to the next level. How can I have a vision of how can we have one of the biggest, AI platforms in the world? Well, the only way we can do that is we all just, what's your power? Add. What's your power? Add. What's your power?
Yeah.
We don't need this right now. Keep it though. We're going to need it soon.
Yeah.
So these are the things that, it kind of got me to, but I want to go back to you guys. I just believe, and I know you have some questions for them
Later.
But what do you guys think is like, other than, because I know your superpowers, but what is something that somebody can take today and be like, okay, well, I'm nowhere. Let's say I haven't ever started a business, because I know a lot of people have disbeliefs in starting the business. Like they was doing an op call, and I'm like, how many of you guys actually believe you can own a business? Yo, a lot, and because the comments are directly to me, because everybody was just nobody was lying. Because typically when the chat is just open, and everybody's seeing everybody, they're just saying whatever. But when it's private and everybody they know that they're only messaging me and I can see it. So a lot of people have some disbeliefs about them owning a business, me being included. Because there's a part in my life where I really thought, I'm like, and I told my dad this when he came to Canada, and he had a heart attack. I'm like, Dad, I'm gonna work at the gym forever. And I had biggest smile on my face, bro. I'm like, this is the place I want to work at forever. And he looked at me, he was like, I sent you to Canada to work at a gym. So disappointed. So disappointed.
I remember
bro.
he was so passionate.
I
He's like,
love
I'm gonna get it at the top of the pyramid at the gym.
I'm gonna be a VP in this company, bro. There's no, first of all, every VP that ever worked there has been there for 30 plus years, bro.
And
I'm gonna be the first Arab VP in this company. This is in my head. This is what's gonna
But it's
happen.
always first Arab.
Yeah, it was always the first. Well, technically first. Anyway, that's the further thing. But anyway, what would you tell somebody that has just disbeliefs in their head? Because you, Sandra, you've gone through a lot of disbeliefs because there's one time that you said, Rakan, I'm not really into personal development, and then the next year you read and listened to 10 times more books than me.
Yeah.
So there was like a switch there.
53. I think I did 53 books.
That's a lot.
Or 54 books.
That's a lot. That's
in
a lot
one
of
year.
books. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the question?
So what would you tell somebody that just have the disbeliefs? Like what would be
Disbelief that they could own a business.
Yeah.
Like, what would be what?
What would you tell somebody who has a disbelief
Sandra, you answer
Okay.
first.
that they can't own a business,
Yeah.
that they can't succeed in owning a business?
Like, would you just tell them just start, and then figure it out, or is it just develop first and then start a business?
No, honestly I would say I think people think that the people that are successful in their field had experience and they're like, and that's what makes them compare themselves and pretty much take themselves out of the game because they think that people come in with experience, which is a lie. Like we all did not come from any experience whatsoever. I didn't, and I was highly unqualified, first of all. Yeah. And I just feel like you just have to for me, it was a burning desire. Like if you don't have burning desire, there's never going to be momentum for it to have success in your online business.
But what triggered it though?
Well, how do you get the burning desire?
Because for me, it triggered. You
Yes,
know the
it
story
is
with
a
my
trigger.
mom. It like, yes, I was doing the things that happened. Something switched.
I think everybody that gets that burning desire has one thing in common, and that's getting very uncomfortable with your current reality. Because a lot of people are very comfortable with their current reality. Why? Because I always say this, they're comfortable with losing. What does that mean? Losing is by settling because you only know what you know, which is the current reality that you have right now. So you have to take yourself out of your current reality and kind of put yourself and experience new things. And I said this on my TikTok. Actually, that video is currently going viral right now.
Nice.
And it was the topic of like what I did while I was broke that helped me become successful. And one of the things was putting myself in a bougie environment, in elite, high-end like circles, so that I can experience a new reality, and I can go back to my current reality and make myself so uncomfortable.
That I feel like that's you guys feel like that's a network marketing effect? Like,
Oh yeah.
like I enjoy network marketing. I'm like, I
People be talking about 30
I
grand a
think-
month, 50 grand a month, like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first got into network marketing, I
Crazy.
thought making 10K a month would be like, yo, you living the motherfucking life. You lit. Like, that's like my end all, be all. That's like my goal. And now I'm like, especially living in Miami, like 10K a month is like minimum wage for Miami.
Yeah. It's
Bro, no,
it's
seriously.
poverty.
Wow.
But based on how expensive it is to live.
I don't think.
Yeah.
No,
it's bad
bro,
in
I'm
Miami.
telling
It's
you.
really
I'm
bad.
telling
I'm
you
pretty
right
sure
now.
there's people that work at like groceries. And
Of
stuff.
course, but I'm saying that's the like to live a decent life
Yeah.
in Miami. That's the minimum wage to live a decent
You
life.
gotta do like groceries and OnlyFans.
Yeah.
It's hard.
No, but definitely, like it stretches your mind, and I think network marketing is also a cheat code to hang around people that are much wealthier than you. Because I never had, like when people used to say, "Oh, you're the average of the 5 people you hang around with," and I'm like, why the fuck would they hang around with me then?
Yeah.
Because if they're hanging around with me,
That's good.
That's true.
no. But realistically, if there's
Because
a
Rakan hangs
millionaire,
around 4 people that are broker than him. He's like, hold on, wait a second.
like
There's something wrong here.
if they're hanging out with me, I'm gonna bring their value down. Why
Yeah.
would they hang out with me? And
Yeah.
what value can I offer? They're like, oh, make sure you have some value to offer them. What the fuck am I gonna offer them?
Yeah.
Right? So network marketing gave me proximity because events, people like, I don't know what it is. They drink this drug here where they will mentor you for free, even if you're not in their company, even if you're not on their team.
Yeah,
that's
that is
not
true.
seen anywhere
That
else.
is true.
Right? So you can go to events and you can talk to people that are making $1 million, that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. You can talk to them and they will talk to you. You can DM them, they will DM you back. Not every time, but many
Yeah.
times.
It's crazy.
And so that when I
Yeah.
started getting into network marketing, within my first year and a half, I already had multiple multi-millionaire friends.
Amazing.
That to
Yeah.
me is crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it's the only business
Wow.
model that people making $1 million a month are incentivized to have you out earn them.
Yep.
In the corporate world, no one wants you to take their CEO,
because
VP
there's
position,
no
executive
position
position.
like that.
No,
Yeah, that's true.
this is the only business model that actually facilitates that. I want you to outwork me. I want you to
Yeah.
out earn me.
And people,
You know what I mean?
and it's a very benevolent industry. Like you don't realize that, like people from outside looking in don't realize that it's not just about their downline.
Yeah.
How many like top networkers do you know that will go and speak at places for free?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That will
100%.
cop on a call for free.
Yeah,
That will
yeah.
coach another team for free. That's not even their team,
Yeah.
right? Because they just love spreading.
They give-
they love
the giving
sharing. They
part,
love
yeah.
giving. They know it's gonna come back to them.
Yeah.
So I think
That is so true.
I think that's one beautiful thing. But to go back to answering your question, I think, and piggybacking off what Jazz said, people don't realize that in this industry, in any industry actually, when you see somebody who is very successful, you think that you have to have their confidence to join what it or start doing whatever it is that they're doing, and you don't realize that confidence is situational. Right? So like I may be confident in network marketing because I've been doing it for 3 years. I may be confident on social media because I've been posting every day for 3 years. But when I walk into a gym, I'm not confident. Right? I'm the same person, but in a different situation, I don't have the same level of confidence because it comes from repetition. So when you see somebody and you're like, yo, they're so good, like I could never do that, understand that it only came from repetition. The reason they're good, they started somewhere too. They started at zero. Like at some point they were not confident in what they're doing. So I think when people are looking to start, a big mistake that they make is they're waiting. Oh, I'm going to wait till I become more confident so I can do this. Well, the confidence doesn't come before the business. It comes after.
Yeah.
That's good.
I like that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And
Love
it comes
that.
after the failures, the experience comes after a lot of stuff. To piggyback off him.
We all piggybacking.
Bro, what's a piggyback?
What is
Yeah,
that?
I've wanted to ask this question for like 7 years
It's
now.
like adding on. We are
yeah,
adding on
but
to what
piggy
you
is a pig.
Oh, it's
What?
haram.
Oh, piggyback is when you jump on somebody's back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
they carry
why
you.
is it based on a pig? I'm a little confused.
Cow-
Like, it
you want
couldn't be
cow-
a
Oh, he's
horse?
like,
you want a cowback?
haram.
Horseback.
You couldn't be a horse?
Haram, we
It
don't.
was just so it is a
Horseback
pig.
riding. Okay,
It is-
horseback riding off the
piggyback
drain.
is based on
Oh, because do
a
pigs
pig.
actually go on each other's backs? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Where
See, I
did
made you
that
guys
term?
think. That's-
Yeah.
that's-
Where
that's-
did that term come
But
from?
but anybody wanting to start a business, you have to understand that you need collaboration, you need teamwork. And listen, if network marketing is for you, if it isn't for you, it's a collaboration based model. And a lot of businesses, people, it's a people business. And if like Sandra and I have a green brain personality, which means we're analytical, we're data driven. Rakan may be a red. I think Jasmine, I don't know. What do you
Red.
say? You say you're red
I'm
or
a
blue?
red yellow. I
Red,
think.
yellow,
Yeah.
mix, hybrid. So a red is more of a sales driven person, more sharp.
Yeah.
Yellow is more caring, generous, giving. And then blue is more party, culture, cultivating. And we've built such a well-rounded, balanced business here because we have all these personalities meshing together and collaborating. And you have to understand that you're not going to be the best at all 4 personalities, and you're bringing something to the table where someone else can complement you. And you have to understand
100%.
business is like that. You're like me and Rakan work together because we complement each other. If Rakan had another red, it may not work the same way, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So
I always talk about this as a tip of like how we grew such a powerful movement. We just know each other's strengths and we leverage each other's strengths. That's all it is. We just kind of like you said, like we just complement one another. We know where we are needed, and then we go there.
absolutely. I got 2 questions for you girls.
Okay. Is
Shoot.
it non-business?
Sort of.
Why are you smiling?
Do you want business?
I want.
Whatever you want. Whatever's on the little
No,
note.
let's make it spicy.
I
Whatever's
think,
on the
I think let's
notepad.
make it spicy a little bit.
You want spice?
Yeah.
All right. So Jazz was in no, not Jazz. Dre was in Dubai recently.
Ooh.
Okay,
Right.
that was getting really spicy.
Now, do you know where I'm going with this? Do you know where I'm going with this?
Well, if you're
This is a
not
good
in the
question.
Go ahead.
subbies, you're not
This-
gonna know.
This is gonna get clicks. You want clicks?
Just go ahead. Yeah.
So, so watch. So Dre was in Dubai, and I'm watching her story, and someone's recording her, but no one knows who's recording her. Is she alone in Dubai? Is she? But then I seen a hand one time, someone's hand. It looked like it didn't look like
a little
girl's-
manly.
Yeah.
Leave it for the subbies.
Like Dre, did you get you do your nails? No, it was.
You need to
yeah.
subscribe, and you'll know. I promise.
She comes on our podcast. Okay, we'll subscribe.
Let
Listen,
him ask the question.
So I see that you look like you have a philosophy that like you're keeping, maybe you're in a relationship and you're not keeping it secret, but it's private. Am I right to say that?
Yes, correct.
And what kind of philosophy do you believe that if being in an online business where you have so many eyes on you, you're not posting, let's say it was, I don't know if it was a man that you're with,
Yeah.
you're not posting his face and flashing him on the camera. You're keeping him private, but not secret. Why do you think that's a benefit to your online business?
I don't think it's necessarily a benefit to my business. Like, if anything, I think sharing would be. Why are you laughing?
I don't think benefit was the wrong word.
Yeah, I don't think it was a benefit to my
yeah.
business, but why I do it, it was a man. It was my boyfriend. We were in Dubai for New Year's, and the
How
reason.
long y'all been dating? Because I never heard of this guy.
Yeah, you did. The same guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The guy.
Don't worry
Anyways, because we broke up and we got back together.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
there we
why
go.
he's
It was her
confused.
cameraman in Dubai.
He's not my
Bro,
cameraman.
I'm
He's
the-
my man.
My man.
Okay.
Ooh, that's
but
good. That was a good one.
anyways, we were in Dubai, and it doesn't necessarily benefit my business, but I think for me personally, I am so public on social media.
Yeah.
I share literally everything. I share my family. I share my life. I share my personality. A lot of it that I always wanted to keep one part to myself, and that's like the one part that I keep to myself. It doesn't need to be secret.
Yeah.
Because I want people to know, not necessarily want, but like I feel like people should know if you're in a relationship, right? So that they don't DM you and shit. So I don't mind them knowing that I'm in a relationship, but I'm not at this stage ready to like show that. And I think the primary reason is because I just want to keep something to myself. I think a secondary reason is that it's also a huge merging of brands, right? So when you do that, you merge your brands together, and I only ever want to do that one time. I only ever want to merge my brand with another person one time, and that's when I am like with somebody and I'm married to that person. Because then that's gonna be content on your motherfucking head top. You know what I mean? So until there's a ring on the finger, I personally don't show. But I think there's nothing wrong with showing or not showing.
Yeah, I think.
I just think it shouldn't be a secret.
I think your friends Christy Stone and Jason Stone do a wonderful job at that. Like
Yeah.
the way
Yeah.
they show it.
yeah, and they're married. They've been married. They've been
it's
together
part
for
of
over
their-
10
it's
years.
part of their brand, and
Yeah.
it's a positive impact. I'm sure.
And I definitely see myself posting content like that,
Yeah.
but I want to do it with like my husband.
Right.
Yeah.
Jazz has something to say, or no? You just videotape.
I'm videotaped.
What about you, Vlad?
Same philosophy.
Why though?
Same philosophy. Likewise.
Yo, why is he
Likewise,
laughing
Dre.
like that?
Rakan, I'm getting to you next. Eh?
Don't
This guy
get
thinks
to me
that-
next,
this guy-
bro. Don't get to
This
me
guy's
next.
like Marwan. I'm editing this part out.
No, but why? What's
Same philosophy. Merging of brands. Listen, my business is my business, and it doesn't necessarily suit my brand to be showing everybody and involving that aspect of my world into
So
the
Vlad, you
online
have
world.
a girlfriend?
But I feel like in your situation,
Vlad,
people
do
know.
you have a girlfriend?
I'm done.
I'm married. I have 4 kids. How about that? Do you have a girlfriend?
I'm asking you the
Yeah, I'm married.
question.
I'm married.
Where's the ring?
I'm married. Right here.
He's like, we're cutting this out. Listen,
Rakan's out here
if we're
dying.
gonna do this podcast, it better
Rakan's
be
in the-
truthful.
I'm married and my kids in the next room. Can we
Rakan's-
hurry this up?
Rakan's in the.
He's tired.
Rakan's over here dying when he's in the Habibi streets, bro.
Rakan, do you have a girlfriend?
I have four wives. bro.
Rakan wants 6. How many kids do you want?
Why do men do this? They always like not answer
I said-
See,
directly.
if one of y'all were my man on a podcast, not claiming that you have a girl, that would be a problem for me.
We just said.
I just said.
I wouldn't have a problem with them
I have a
not
wife.
posting me, but I would have a problem with them not claiming me publicly. Not saying that you're not.
Do you
I'm
want
just
me to?
saying.
Do you want me to add her? Like tag her?
No. I'm just saying, like,
Yes.
like, I think what I'm doing. from my perspective, like it should be known that you have a partner. Like with me, I mean, you probably weren't watching my stories properly, but I mentioned it multiple times. I'm going with my man. Blah, blah,
No,
blah, blah.
I did see that.
Yeah. Okay.
I did see that.
Yeah.
I did.
So
I did.
it's
But-
public. It's known that
Yeah.
I'm with somebody.
And like I retweet. Listen, when my like if I'm getting posted by her, I'm not hiding that. We do business together. She's in my business. We
You
do business
repost
together.
it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh,
Of
okay.
course. I'm not hiding it from the world.
then you don't really hide them then,
No, I'm not hiding.
because I don't repost
No. Caught in action.
Nice.
Wow.
it. I don't, because then they're gonna know who it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
true.
true,
That is
that's
true.
true,
That
that's
makes
true.
sense. Wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
But he's not in
But
the
does
business.
He's not in the
yeah,
business.
he's
He
not
is
in
in
the
the business.
Yeah,
So,
but somebody recognized him though a few times.
reckon that. Oh,
Yeah.
If you recognize him, drop it in the comments. Rakan,
Okay, do not do that.
We want to know.
listen, I have another question for you, ladies.
Wait, Jazz didn't answer. What do you think?
What is my what?
What is your philosophy? Do you share your man
I
or
was
not?
about to move on, but you know what? That's a good question. What do you think about this?
I think Jazz would share if it was a boyfriend.
No, I've done it before.
yeah,
for
I
sure.
was about to say, you've
but
done it
I've
before.
done it before, and I've done it far too many times. I feel like at this point in my life, it's the same thing. I just want it to be the one if he's gonna be on my page.
So, are you on the lookout?
So
or
definitely
Yeah.
a ring on the finger.
are you on the lookout right now, or is there?
What does that mean?
Are you looking?
Well, here's the deal.
Am I
ladies.
dating?
Here's the
Yeah.
deal, ladies. Late 20s, early 30s. Other women in your situation may be thinking the time is. Rakan's gonna love this. The time may be ticking. You know what I'm saying?
Here
Do you
we
know where
go.
I'm getting this?
Okay.
I'm getting. But you ladies are
TikTok.
are business women, right? But you do have personal lives, right?
Yes.
Do you feel any sort of pressure from that personal life aspect of things? Like, listen, I know I got my business up and running, but there's that personal side of me that wants to settle down, that wants to have the kids and find the one.
I think this year is very different from 2021. I feel like in this year, I'm definitely more intentional with dating and looking for someone. I don't go into it with needing them, and I don't go into it like that with that, because that's a limiting scarcity mindset of like the time is ticking. First of all, Kim Kardashian had kids at 34, 35 years old, so it's not a big deal, you know.
You go, Jazz.
You know what I mean? Like
You tell him, girl.
No, but Kim looks, yeah.
I mean, Kim looks.
But she also had surrogates.
MashaAllah.
not the first one. The first one.
Yeah, her
was,
first one was like 34.
But the reason
right?
she had surrogates is because she had complications.
Yeah, but the first
that?
First one was at 34 and she had like 4 kids.
34. Her first one was 34, and then after I think a year or two was at 37, and then 38,
Yeah.
39, and that's it. Yeah. So it's like I've had those thoughts, but then I'm like, no, honestly, like, why am I gonna put myself in like thinking these things when it's gonna come, and I know it's gonna come.
Yeah, you're good at that.
My husband's there.
I definitely feel like I've this year, not this year, 2022, at the end of it, because I'm now approaching 30, I definitely feel like there's increased pressure, but
Like personal or society?
personal.
Okay.
Because biologically, just
Yeah,
biologically, and also ideally as a woman, I would have wanted to have kids by like 22. But at the same time, I'm also very traditional when it comes to monogamy, and I only want to like get married one time. So it was very important for me to choose the right person, and I haven't gotten there like to that marriage stage yet. So I'm not gonna have just kids like me personally, not that there's anything wrong with it, but just me personally for what I want. So I'd rather wait and have it with the right person than like time, you know what I mean? So I definitely felt more pressure this year approaching 30, because you would think that like, because the way that I imagined it would have been different, but at the same time I didn't have the opportunity to, because I didn't find a person that fit my lifestyle and that I felt was the right person to like have a kid with and get married, and so I'm also not forcing it,
Yeah. But I
would be lying if I said
pressured.
there was no pressure.
You're feeling pressure?
I'm getting pressured. Yeah.
You're getting pressured by who? Your family?
Like society, family. Like as an Arab man, I should be with a couple kids so far.
but you're a man though, so like for you, it's
like you can be
easier because you can date
40.
younger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree. But I'll be married the next 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So what is it gonna take to get Rakan off the market and publicly claiming a woman?
Marriage.
Marriage only.
Yeah, marriage only. Well, why would no? I'm not doing the boyfriend girlfriend thing. That doesn't exist in the Middle East.
Ladies,
It's like right away. Like you see her, and it's like, do you want to get married?
No, but it's gonna be
Low-key.
like no, but I'm saying that because I want to have a lot of kids.
Yeah.
How many?
I'm not doing the 2 kids.
How many?
It's
10?
6+.
6+.
Damn.
6+.
That's-
and that has. Man, this is the thing. But you have to talk to the women about this before.
Yeah, of course.
100%.
Because
I only
if we're
want
not,
2.
if we're not, you see what I mean? Because if we're not on the same page,
You
I
want
mean-
6 or what?
I only want 2. Max 2.
I would love to have a lot of
want
kids,
6
but
plus.
I'm gonna see after I pop out the first one how
Yeah,
I
how
feel.
it
I feel
looks,
like it
how it
gets
feels.
easier after the
Like
first
you
one.
guys,
no?
you listen.
You don't gotta do nothing, bro.
You're
You
saying
just-
like
you just go to-
6 like
do
it's
the
nothing.
Zoom calls, yeah.
That's up to the woman. Okay, let's have
No, but
some.
Okay, but that's my
give
point.
some
This is
grace
why.
to the
This is why
woman.
you have to talk to the
Yeah,
woman.
yeah.
But in his culture, it's more normal
and
to have that
my
many.
dad had 4, and I have family friends that had 11.
Yeah.
One woman. One
Yeah.
she just
Oh,
and
that
then we
vagina?
take. By the way,
Because look, Rakan's
My bad, Haram.
Rakan, you're gonna have a stay-at-home wife. You're gonna have a stay-at-home wife. She's responsible. She's the
Stay-at-home wife.
Your ideal wife, is she a stay-at-home wife?
I mean, stay-at-home wife, yeah, but she got to do something, bro.
like cook.
No. Well, like the
like
cooking
bus-
stuff, yes.
business-minded?
She has to be able
Okay,
to
wait, Rakan,
Just so
question.
she understands.
Rakan,
Because
question
eventually, I
for
want to be
you.
able
Would
to
you-
open up her own business
Would
for her.
you rather a stay-at-home wife or like a power couple where they can go into she can go into a
question.
business meeting and like own the room?
Yeah,
and
I
you
mean,
can trust her
I would,
with
I
closing.
would love, but there's nothing wrong in having both sides.
You're right.
Like I want a woman.
Like you
that
mean
can,
2 women or one
No,
woman?
one
at a time?
woman.
4 wives, 2
One
power
stay at
couples,
home?
2 stay at home. They're friends, not just one because they need a friend.
No,
on
but
the
no.
left, one on the
But
right.
for real, because I know like in your religion it's
Yeah.
allowed. But do you actually
Yes.
think that you're gonna have multiple wives, or you
I don't think so.
Yeah,
No,
just
I don't think
okay.
so.
Good
Well, my dad
answer.
had only one.
Good
so
answer.
I think so at
I
least.
judge you.
From what I know, my dad has
Let's
one.
get
Yeah.
one. Let's see how it goes.
I mean,
No, but seriously.
I mean,
Chad.
Try it out.
But look, like the marrying
Try
for a
it.
woman in
He's
Islam is
he's
not
intending
just
to have
marrying
one,
for a woman
yes.
because
No,
I want
I
to.
know.
There's certain rules and there's reasons for it. Like a lot of
And the
people,
wife has to approve if
Yeah,
there's a
of course.
second and
but
third.
here,
Yeah.
the main reason why somebody would marry a second woman is because let's say the first one does not get kids. Like I know like royal family.
Fertility
like I
issues.
know.
Fertility
Yeah.
issues,
So
yeah.
I know he's he's a prince back home. And yeah, his dad is a big prince, and his first wife just couldn't have kids. That doesn't mean she's okay. Bye bye. But
Yeah.
it means okay. Well, we'll get a second one, and she will have kids. But the main one will be the main one. That doesn't change anything. And in Islam, you have to treat them equally by everything. And if you don't, you're going to hell.
But your plan is one.
Yeah, the plan is one.
Yeah. That's a good plan.
Plus,
Interesting.
I would not. I have a couple of rules. Number one, I would not raise my kids here.
Where
In
would
North
you
America.
raise them?
Middle East.
Dubai.
Middle East doesn't matter. Middle East. I'm seeing what's being taught, and I'm not a fan. Just personal things. Like I see a lot of things being forced on. I have a younger sister. She's in school, so I'm home listening. Interesting, because and I'm just seeing. And my younger sister is a smart. She's and I have a rule in my house. You don't come to my house and speak English. You speak and then this is another thing. I see a lot of people that are like Arabs that are born here that don't speak Arabic.
Yeah, that's normal
irks
too.
Me. That
Even as a Serbian, I see that all the time.
Oh my God, bro! That there's a couple of times my sister took a little bit, a milli more second to speak Arabic, and that was the end of it for me. I sat her down and I explained to her why she cannot lose her mother tongue. And this to me is
I wish
is
that
very
was
It's
the
big.
just
rule
a-
in my household.
It's just it's a shame. Like I don't want to say shame. It's just sad because
Yeah.
you're losing a little piece of
Yeah, it's
yourself. Like
it's
that's how
yeah.
I see it. Like I'm not perfect in Serbian, but I speak very fluently.
Yeah.
And even in it's
You speak
easier.
at home Serbian?
Yeah, but
At home.
when I have to explain something harder, I switch to English because
okay.
it's harder for me to express myself in Serbian.
Yeah.
But I see it sometimes people like my age that grew up here that can't speak at all, and it's just a little sad because it's like it doesn't matter what culture it is. You could be like Chinese and
Whatever,
you don't know
whatever it
Chinese
is,
or
yeah,
whatever.
whatever it is.
It's just a little sad because it's like a little piece that's
Yeah.
like.
Can you read and write Serbian?
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh.
I read like a 6th grader though, but I can read.
Rakan,
At least I can. Yeah.
you can read, right?
Yeah.
I can.
But I
fully-
came here when I
fully,
was
bro.
young. He came here when he was older.
Yeah.
I came when I was
Yeah.
6.
That is true. That is true.
Like, but when I came here, I went to school. A few months later, I forgot my own language.
Wait, what?
Yeah, bro.
How?
I forgot because I was using English so much in
English so
school.
much, okay. Did you learn English back home?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
then I went back to Serbia and it reminded me.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay. I see.
But I didn't completely lose it, but I was like stuttering and I wasn't talking normally because I was used to speaking English.
That makes sense.
Because they were speaking English at home too, trying to help me practice and stuff, you know?
So, your parents have a good relationship.
Yeah. They've been married for 40 something, a long time, yeah.
And do you think that's
Since my mom was 19.
beautiful?
they've been married.
When did she have her first child?
19.
19.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom was married at 17, had me at 17.
Yeah.
Wow.
19
Quick
or 20,
things.
something like that, yeah.
Quick things.
Yeah.
No waiting time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Oh,
And my dad is also my mom's like first like
Yeah.
real partner.
That's back home.
Yeah.
This is why like. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not
Let's leave it there.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story.
It's just, bro. Like I don't want to say I wish I was never born in this generation, but bro, like I crave that sometimes. Like I go back home, and back home is not back home no more, bro. It has changed. It has been influenced by North America so much, bro. Like it's the things that you see here, you see there again. At least the last time I went, and I'm like, oh.
But at the same
man,
time, there's
really?
benefits that we get that
Of course,
you may
of
have
course,
not had
absolutely.
before.
But there's
you know?
a part
Yeah.
of back in the days
that you like.
that I do like, and like it's a mix. Like I'll say something about like my future wife.
Very modest.
There has to. Well, yeah,
that's a given.
That's a like not even entertaining.
Your future wife's gonna be honest?
Absolutely.
like hijab, yeah.
Hijab?
Yes, absolutely. Well,
Wow.
hijab is an option. It doesn't have to be, but modest as in like, yeah, like there's modest. No, it doesn't have to be covered head to toe, neck under, modest. Like like I'm just not. My wife is from me, bro. I don't know what she's impressing other guys for. She wants to go to I my own restaurant. We have Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Women only. My mom goes. You would look at my mom like, where are you going? I'm like, your wedding? She is like, one time I walked into the house and she was going. I'm like, where are you going? What, are you going on a date, mom? Like, what time is this? And it was late too. She's like, I'm going to your restaurant. Like this, you going? She's like, yeah, this is today. I didn't even know we had a Women's
Day.
I didn't even know we had a Women's Day. But yeah, I mean, if it's women, go do
Rakan's not even allowed at his restaurant on
do-
Tuesdays.
It's true, yeah. Like, there's no men allowed. Like, even the kitchen staff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
it's
amazing.
crazy, yeah.
I love
That's
that.
awesome.
I didn't know
that. There's a lot of things like this, by the way. Like that, they're here. There are gyms only. There's for women,
Yeah,
and like my mom enjoys that. And there's nothing. Anyway, my point is like. There has to be a mix of halal haram ratio. It can't be too haram and it can't be too halal, right? Because I'm the guy that yes, I there's specific sins that I do, but I'm still praying. I'm still doing like I'm still. There's still a line that I'm holding.
Yes.
Yeah, you're at
There's
the mosque every Friday.
Yeah, I don't
Absolutely.
miss Fridays. To me is like I don't care if I have a call that will make me $1 trillion. There's an hour and a half that nobody messages me because I will not answer. It is what it is. So it just I have red lines that I don't cross. These are my red lines. So and I'm guessing, and I can't judge a girl based on what she's done in her past, but as well she can't be too crazy in the past.
I have a question about that, ladies. Do you think that increasing, let's say, your body count, do you think it has a negative effect on
Absolutely,
women?
yes.
I asked the
Nobody
lady.
asked you.
Sorry.
Only on Tuesdays we're coming.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
What do you
Has
ladies
a
think?
negative effect of what? On
Do you
what?
think that increasing your body count for women has a negative effect for women,
Yes.
and on the relationship that they can have with a future partner?
This is why we're friends, Sandra.
I'll let Jazz think about it, and Dre, you can give me your answer first.
I said yes.
Can you justify?
explain?
Why?
Can you unpack
Do you
it?
want to explain?
So I say yes, and not to judge anybody who's
Why?
sexually liberal or whatever you want to say. I think people have the agency to do whatever they want with their bodies. I think, unfortunately, the truth is yes. Like, that's just, like, I think, how do I say this? It's a touchy subject still.
Why?
But I think that there is a portion of men that are going to be less interested the more you increase, if it's significant. Like,
But how would they know?
they wouldn't know. But if they did know, then yeah.
You trust me, you would know.
But
you would know.
Sleeping with a woman, you would know.
How?
You
How
would
would
know
you
if she's
know?
experienced or
No,
not.
that's not necessarily
No,
true.
because
That's not necessarily
you
true,
can
'cause there's
be
a
in a
difference between-
long-term relationship
Exactly.
with one person and do all those things and
What's
get
how
experience.
long is a long-term relationship?
No, but
Years,
no,
like
but to
3,
be
4,
honest,
5 years, you can be with one person
So
and
question
become
for
very
you.
experienced.
Do you think a long-term relationship is healthy?
Well,
Yes.
if it
Yeah.
ends, if it ends poorly,
Hold on.
A long-term relationship is healthy.
Yeah, is it healthy?
Yeah, of course.
So
why
why
not?
would somebody stay as a boyfriend girlfriend for 5 years? What's holding them after 2 years? Why are they not
Oh,
getting
like
married?
That's a good
saying
question.
boyfriend girlfriend.
that's a good
That's what I
Oh
meant.
yeah,
Not-
yeah, yeah.
not the
Okay,
actual-
okay. Yeah.
I think it just depends on their
it's not-
circumstances, yeah.
it's not
What
healthy.
circumstances?
I don't.
like maybe
I
they're
don't
just
think
not ready.
so.
Maybe they're young. Maybe they
Yeah.
started
Young
dating
for
at
what?
18.
But, yeah.
What if they start dating at 18
Yeah.
or
So
17 or
you're not-
16
you're
and they're
not-
not ready for marriage yet?
No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about like if you're 20 and up, and we have seriously
I think it depends.
dated. I don't
These
know
are
what's the
such
hold up.
generalized questions. I think there's so many different types of people out there that like different things. Like even with the thing, like the kill count thing, there are some men who literally do not give a fuck. So if that is your type of man who is also a little bit more sexually liberal,
that's
it's less of
none
an
the
issue.
Guy's business. If he were to ask me, like that's none of your business. What are you going to use that information?
I agree with
for?
that too. My boyfriend never once asked me
Yeah.
what
For
my kill
what?
count
So
was.
you can
so Jazz,
self-sabotage?
your answer is no. The body count would not affect you. And
We
your
said
future relationship?
affect you.
Affect
Yeah, that's
you
what I'm saying.
as a
person?
internally. Like, do you think it will?
not your relationship.
Yeah, because
the guy doesn't.
Again,
I'll tell
it's
you
going to
something.
increase your ability to get a sexually
him
transmitted
talk.
disease.
Let him talk.
I'll tell you something. I've seen both. I've seen women with very few. Okay. Been with very few men and women that have been with many men, and the difference is significant. Emotionally,
Difference in
spiritually,
what?
physically,
What?
emotionally, physically, spiritually, you can tell the difference.
I
you can
personally
tell the difference.
don't like.
And they don't have to tell me how many miles they got. I can tell by the car. I can tell by the engine. I can tell by the motor.
But like what
and the
things you're
exhaust noise.
talking about?
You can tell this car has been driven many times around the.
How
and
would
you
you?
can
How
tell.
would you know?
Yeah,
You
don't
can tell. You can tell.
How
Women
can
are
you
not
tell?
cars, bruh.
No,
This
they're
guy
not
went.
cars.
This guy went on Carfax.com for the girl.
They're not cars.
No, but like, can you explain other than sexual experience what
You can
noticed?
tell.
'Cause you said
listen,
spiritually.
listen. You can tell when a woman's been through trauma. Okay, and the
But
more
babe, trauma's
hold
not
on.
ba-
Okay, hold on.
trauma's not based on numbers, though.
It's not, but there is a correspondence between the number of women has slept with and the increase in number of trauma she's experienced. And the more trauma a woman goes through, the less I could argue that the more of a toll it has on her.
You're such an engineer.
The more,
Yeah.
the more
Like, he's using
toll it
words
has
I
on
can never
her.
say.
But what do you think
Such a
about the
green.
opposite? What about
What do you
men?
mean?
Look at the greens going
trauma
at
for
each
men is
other.
good. Look what trauma did to Rakan. The man became a freaking multimillionaire.
Brother.
Trauma. Look at this. This is the
So you think
the
that
byproduct of
trauma.
you think the same emotional
Oh yeah,
like
same with me.
impact,
Byproduct of trauma right here too.
same emotional impact. They're talking about different type
Yeah.
of trauma, babes. Don't subscribe to that right now. But
Yeah. This
like,
is
what
good.
about a man emotionally?
Yeah.
Emotionally, won't they be affected by having a lot of partners?
Of course.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Absolutely.
Do you think that a man is negatively impacted the more that their kill count increases?
Absolutely.
Why?
Yeah, I agree.
1000%.
Why?
I agree.
It's the same concept with women, bro.
Why?
It's the same concept. When a woman does it's, bro,
I agree, but it's
I
more
can get
socially
that.
acceptable.
Okay, I just want to know
fuck
why.
Okay,
social.
okay,
Fuck the
Jazz.
social. We're not talking
Can
about
I
social
know
here,
the
Sandra.
answer?
You
We're
go, then I
talking-
go. I have something to say, but you go first.
Why?
We're not talking about social stuff. I don't care if somebody judges me or like the social stuff. I'm talking about like the health of this relationship. The health of
Facts.
this relationship. If me or her have a lot of kill counts, we'll have, as my brother Vlad said, correspondence. I would never say this word unless I heard it right now. Correspondence of something negative that will happen. It's just you know,
because you have more to compare to.
A lot of the things, right? More to compare to, and I just feel.
Do you feel like there's a soul tie with everyone you sleep with?
I don't
a little
think
bit.
so.
Yeah, I think so too.
Just a little bit, because maybe it's me, but I don't think somebody fully forgets.
Forgets what?
Like look. You know, sex is a transfer of energy.
Yeah, 100%.
It is transfer of energy, and I feel like it's always like there's just a little bit that would always, and this is why like a perfect woman in my head, but I can't like.
Perfect woman is a virgin in your head. Just say it.
But the thing is,
he wants to say it.
I can't.
That's
I can,
true for you.
I can,
but at the
because
same time,
yes,
exactly. That's
exactly.
what I want to say to you.
But in my head, relax.
I don't get it.
Calm down.
Can I say my? Can I say my?
Hold on.
Are you having trouble?
I can't, but I said it. I
A
said
perfect
it.
woman in my head is a virgin,
in my head.
but I am Habibi Streets. Okay,
Habibi in the streets.
that's the Duolingo right there.
I'll put it how.
Yeah.
This is how men perceive it with women. So let's say, and I don't want you to take this literally. I don't want you to take this literally. It's an analogy.
She will take it literally.
I know. So
I'm a green.
Let's say you have an employer, a boss, getting an employee as an interview, not hired yet. The future employee, the prospect, brings in the resume. Okay, you have two. Let's say you have employee A, employee B. Employee A comes in. The resume has 7 different jobs in the last 8 years on the resume. What does that tell you about that employee? Do you want to hire that employee that's worked 7 different jobs in 8 years?
Yeah, but this is different because you wouldn't
that's what I'm saying.
know.
It's an analogy.
Okay.
It's an analogy.
Okay.
Or are you going to hire employee B who's been with the same company for 8 years?
You're right. Okay.
What are you going to look at and think, okay, employee A who's hopped around from 7 different companies in 8 years, or employee B who's been with the same company in 8 years? Who would you hire? I'm just saying,
Of
based
course.
on this resume only,
the
point
person
blank period.
with less body counts. 100%. But you would never know that.
But it also depends on the person, though. Like, this is the thing. This is why it's hard to answer these types of questions, because it depends on the person. I have friends who are extremely sexually liberal, who like just they enjoy that. They enjoy just having sex and nothing else. And I have friends who are complete opposite, who can't do that.
Yeah.
That's just not for them, right? Like for me personally, that's like me. I'm not. I don't do the one night stands and things. I just can't. Like my body can't. But
Yeah,
I
can't either.
have friends that are very sexually liberal, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because that's their preference. So the
Yeah.
people that they're gonna end up with are probably gonna be more sexually liberal too, and have certain sexual preferences as well.
And accepting
so it's
of
like
that. Yeah.
And I think I think there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like it's like for example, like certain things that you want. Like for example, he wants a modest wife. There's nothing wrong with that, but that doesn't mean that that's what you want. You know what I mean? You respect what somebody else wants, and there's gonna be somebody out there for him, but that's not maybe what you want.
And
you know?
and a wife who is not modest shouldn't be mad at him for wanting a modest wife.
Yeah, it's just
there's
preferences.
many modest wives that would want. Yeah, exactly. Whatever makes you happy.
There's many.
Next
wives
question.
that would
But
happen.
I think a man, I
Next
think a
question.
man shouldn't be so obsessed.
Jazz needs to get off this
If
topic.
you're a man who's so obsessed with that number, like it's just
No, I don't
like
think
I
I'm
obsessed
don't.
with
My
number.
boyfriends never asked
Yeah,
me.
it's
Never
none of
asked
their
me.
I've
business
never
at the end of the day.
And
I
I
can
think
tell.
it's and I
I've
think
I've always been in long-term relationships, so that's your answer.
I actually find the fact that he's never asked me very attractive, because he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. Like obviously he can tell by my personality
You can
what
tell.
type of person
Yeah.
I am, but he doesn't care what the number is, because he's focused on what I am right now and whether the person I am right now works for him right now. He's not focused on the past.
You take it on face
Yeah.
value, and where are we going with this?
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
reality is just like Rakan just caught himself. A lot of men have slept with have a number that's, let's say, in certain
Significant.
range, but they're expecting a woman that has way lower range. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But a woman has to have a lower range.
Why?
No, they
Because
don't.
it affects a woman in way more negative way than affects a man. Come on.
I think it's more emotional,
It does-
more emotionally trauma for,
affects-
for,
okay,
for
you
it
can't
affects
say
the
it
man.
has to.
Honestly, I feel like you just learn
Not
more
has to,
about
but my
what you
point is-
want.
But
You
my
learn
point is,
more about what you want
I-
when you're more experienced.
Not necessarily.
We'll put it that way.
But experience doesn't mean partners, babe. Experience means repetition. Repetition doesn't mean partners, because you could have experience. I personally think that somebody who dated somebody for 2 years has more experience than somebody who dated, who slept with 20 men in 2 years.
Tell him, Sandra. MashaAllah alayki.
Because you learn about each other's bodies. You can have a different type of sex. Like, it's just different. Whereas when you sleep with somebody for the first time, it's not the same. Like, you're not... you're not learning, you're not developing.
Let's switch topics.
Switch topics. Next question.
Yeah, I went a little long on that one.
You're not a fan of this subject.
That was a great segment.
I wanna talk about Andrew Tate.
Wow, okay.
Great segue.
Because it's controversial.
I don't think it's controversial. I think before I say what I think.
Okay, you.
So where he at?
Where he's arrested.
He's actually in.
I think he's being detained.
No, but he's right now at the hospital.
He's being held in hospital.
Why?
No, he's at hospital. He recently,
Why is he in a
something
hospital?
happened in jail that they had to fly him to the hospital.
Damn.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about him then. What's your question about him?
So what do y'all think of him?
I think he's a very smart man, marketing wise. He's very woke. I don't know the topics on about women. I've seen a couple of videos where I could just
Like what, for example?
So, remember when we first found out about him?
Yeah.
When we first found out about him, I didn't fucking like him at all. I was like, get this piece of shit out of my fucking face with this stupid ass, because it was just like crazy shit.
It's very arrogant.
And then I did more research, and not research, but like I actually watched an interview
Like a
with him and
full interview, not a clip.
I watched an interview of him and Patrick Bet-David, and it was like 5 hours.
Oh, that was a good one.
And I
That
didn't
was the
finish.
best one he had,
I didn't finish it, but I watched about 3 hours of it, which is enough time to really
to know somebody. Yeah.
And after that, I gained way more respect for him.
Yeah.
Not that I agree with everything he says. I think he's a
not
little bit of an
everything.
extremist in certain opinions. I think he's a master marketer, like Jazz said. I think he's fucking brilliant. I think a lot of the things that he says just to get a reaction out of people.
Attention, and then he it's almost like he gets reaction through those controversial topics, and then they all come view his content, and then that's when he talks his woke shit, because he's very smart. He makes sense in a lot of other things.
I think he has a lot of good points.
Yeah.
But I do also think that he's a little bit. No, I don't want to say a little bit. He's manipulative, because watching his interview, Patrick Bet-David, and having experience with dating somebody who's manipulative or narcissistic, he has a lot of those tendencies where certain people that won't stop talking until you believe what they believe. Like, they just won't allow you to have an opinion that's separate from them. So I think that's one thing that I noticed.
So she's talking about me.
Let's not put you in that category.
Wait a minute.
Like that.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that's what a narcissist is.
Well, there's different aspects, but that is something that narcissists do. They will.
I think that's a salesman, bro. That's a
No, but they
narcissist
will-
now.
No.
Because they will make you so wrong for your opinion, and they will not stop until you start believing what they believe. And in my opinion, that is problematic to a degree. Of course, he's in an interview, he's talking about what he wants to talk about, but I can see, but the way that he talks, that he has that kind of in him. But overall, I don't think, I've reposted some of the stuff he says. I think he's fucking smart, and
He's a smart man.
yeah.
Do you think overall he's a good force for humanity and society, or bad?
Yes. Yeah.
Overall, yes. You agree, Jazz?
I think so.
Overall, like you said, you can't agree with 100% of what everyone says, but
Yeah.
I think he's a conversation starter.
Yeah.
Makes you think.
Yeah.
Makes you think.
I think that's
for
what we need.
sure.
He's
I think
definitely,
we have too many puppets in the world.
Yeah, he's definitely goes against the grain, and I think that's worth looking at, because there's not a lot of people like that can do that type of make that type of movement, like move people in that way.
And you know what's crazy? He said something in a video once that he's like, when I got banned off social media, I was only upset because I lost one of my lives. He's like, first they ban you or they cancel you, then they jail you, and doesn't matter if you are guilty or not, and then after that they kill you. So now he just got his second life.
That's insane.
I think I can guess what you ladies don't agree with him. Can I guess it?
Go.
ahead, brother.
His philosophy
on
women in particular with
relationships,
alpha males and cheating, and his philosophy that alpha males are like lions in the jungle, and they can mate with whoever they want, and as long as they come home to the same.
Yeah.
That's called a
mates?
narcissist.
That's the narcissist.
That's called
No, I don't think that's a narcissist. I think that's just
That
preference. I think that I don't think there's anything wrong with
No,
that.
but he's saying that an alpha male can cheat pretty much with who he can.
He's
have
saying.
multiple
I think
people.
what he says is high value men
Yeah.
have the options and have the right to exercise their options.
And I think that's I think that's fine if it's communicated, but the reality is
yeah.
it's not.
Yeah.
Majority of men who do that do not communicate it. They lie
Right.
and pretend like they're not doing that, and then they go out and do that and come back to their wife, and then they lie some more. And that's the problem that I personally see with it. If that's what you want to do, make sure the person that you're with knows that and that they're good with that and not like sweep it under the rug. And then people like me. Well, like, first of all, you don't have to tell me. I can just read from, I can look at you and my hodar is so good. I can just look at you and I'm like, you're
Radar and hoe.
yeah,
Hodar,
hodar.
okay.
I can
Sorry,
look
I
at
thought it
you
was
and
an
I could just
English
see you a hoe. And you're just not my type.
It's like a red flag right away.
I would never be with a man like that.
Literally
but I
a
don't-
walking red flag.
But I don't believe that all wealthy men are like that.
Yeah.
I don't believe
Same.
that.
Listen, I think his philosophy is the same as yours. Listen, all his ladies know that
No,
who he
about
is,
it- about it-
and he's very upfront at this point.
Yeah, he's very
Okay.
He's like, listen, this is the deal. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
But
You know what I mean?
most men are not.
And most men are not.
And you truly don't know the dynamic of his relationships, but most men are not. Let's be real. If you look at everybody that cheats, everybody that's wealthy, they lie,
They go
and then they lie
behind the
some more, and then
woman's
they lie some
back,
more. And
has a little side piece.
you have to give people the agency to choose whether they're okay with that or not,
Mm-hmm.
because otherwise you're hurting them, and you're betraying. You're not giving them the option, right? If you're gonna be up and honest about it, go ahead. I'm sure there's some women that will subscribe even if they knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they probably have
his women,
parameters,
like his
right?
women, the
Yeah.
women that you see him with.
Yeah.
They know what's going on. They
Yeah.
hear him talk about it.
But
Jazz, you agree?
I agree with what
With
she's
what Dre
saying
said.
100% that a lot of people don't know and they just go off cheating and think that they have the right to, but it needs to be discussed because I didn't sign up for that. If I were to find out, I need that to be communicated.
exactly. If you found out, what do you think about the phrase, what you don't know can't hurt you? Or what you can't see can't hurt you?
I feel like everything comes to light in this world.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
I'm personally not.
I believe that to my core. Every wrongdoer that has done wrong in my life, it's come to light.
Yeah. I feel
Some
like
shape or form.
I'm not a person who's extremely jealous or I'm gonna check my man's phone
Yeah,
or gonna
and
like.
I'm not like that either.
I'm not-
It just presents itself.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
It
I'm
finds
just
you.
generally.
It literally finds
Yeah.
out.
Have you been messaged by a girl before saying, "Hey, babe, by the way, is this like your man?" Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never been cheated on that I know of.
That's amazing.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
and I
it's
don't stress over it because I know that.
I've had a lot of long-term relationships. Not all. Only one has really cheated on me, and it's always like it come to light.
Right.
I don't check phones. I don't do none of that. I'm just like if somebody's doing wrong, it's gonna show up eventually.
Yeah, the universe got me.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. God, universe got
But
me.
I think overall, like people like Andrew Tate, and have you heard of Pearl?
Yeah.
Do you like her?
The girl. I just
Yeah.
watched the one interview. Like I just recently heard about
No,
her.
but you should check out her content. I think
yeah.
she's good too. I don't agree with a lot of the things that she says, but I really like why I followed her. The first time I saw her, she has similar views to Andrew Tate. The first time I followed her, the first time I saw her, I was like, "Yo, what the fuck this bitch talking about?" Like I was like, "Come on now," you know. And then after I kept seeing her again and again, and
She's
then
a
she
stats
said,
girl.
she said a few. She's what?
She's a stats girl.
Well, she
Like
said.
30% of the
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
she
yeah.
always like, you know.
But she said a few things that that made me think that I was like, yo, I'm following this girl. And after that, I really started liking her because even though I don't agree with everything she says, I like people who make me think. I like people who
Yeah.
make me question my own beliefs. I
Okay.
like people who make me question what I've just been thinking for the past years. I think it's a brilliant thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm gonna ask one more question before we get into your goals for this year.
Oh, okay.
We had a previous guest who we're talking about OnlyFans with. Remember Kane? Okay, and I'm not gonna make this that spicy, but I'm just gonna ask you ladies a question. There are many options to make money nowadays for women, all right, and for men too. But for women, it seems to be easier for some women to make money online in the online space, and particularly in OnlyFans.
Yeah.
You women have not chosen that path, right?
Obviously.
How can you advocate for the path of network marketing, and why did you choose network marketing when it may not have been an easier path than just going, let's say, the OnlyFans route, for example?
I don't want to hate on the girls that choose that path, but everyone has their preference at the end of the day. No judgment. For me, I would rather exercise my mind, my knowledge, become good at being known as an intelligent woman that's not just for the looks. Because my whole life before entrepreneurship, it's always been a pretty face, a pretty face, a pretty face, a pretty face. I wanted to be known more than that. I didn't just want to be known for my body, my looks, my butt, my boobs. I was sick and tired of that. I wanted to be known as someone who was mentally, I wanted to, I don't know how to explain it, like just mentally challenge myself so I can prove to everybody that I was more than just a pretty face. OnlyFans is just, I feel like it's too, I don't want to like be controversial. It's
controversial, please.
It's too easy. It's almost like it's too easy to.
But the thing is, it's not. That's the other thing. People don't realize it's actually hard to make money on there.
It's easier.
No. But I feel like
you don't think it's easier than Burrito Boy's head office.
No, but I feel like it's too easy to just show off your sexuality. I feel like. Right. We've been known as that for our sexuality for so long. That's the first thing that men look at us for, like sexuality wise. And I feel like it's a challenge when you meet a girl who's emotionally intelligent, and I feel like it's more in depth. Like when a woman is smart and knows what to do and can really move this world and create impact. I feel like that, to me, it's preference at the end of the day. For me, I feel like that feeds my ego at the end of the day, and that makes me fulfilled and more purposeful for me to keep doing network marketing and being a businesswoman. Yeah,
I think a lot of these women are smart, like that do OnlyFans, but I think a little piece of their soul is gone.
Yeah.
I don't want to say everybody, because there's different people, there's different ways that you can do it. You can do OnlyFans without being completely naked and blah blah blah. But from the people that I've met, I feel like a little piece of their soul is like unhappy, unfulfilled, and
that's
like,
what I said.
Really, really
to Kane.
Yeah, I that's what I truly think. Like, I don't judge. You can do whatever you want. I'm not going to treat them differently or anything like that. But I do believe, I don't know any one person who's in it who genuinely, from the bottom of their heart, is passionate and loves what they do. Yeah. The people that I've met who do it don't like doing it. They outsource certain things and all these things because they really genuinely don't enjoy it, and they don't even make that much money. From what there are people that make money, like Bad Bunny made a shit ton of money. Yeah, who was it recently? There was like this dancer girl that twerks that made a lot of money. Like, there's a lot of people that make a lot of money, but the average person who does OnlyFans is not making money. Like, unless you're committing your life to growing this thing, just like it would take to grow a network marketing business, you're not going to make money. Like, you know what I mean? You're not. Like, there's a lot of OnlyFans girls that are broke. I'm sorry. Because the reality is, it's so open right now. There's so many people you can subscribe to. Why am I going to subscribe to you? Why? When there's people that are way wealthy than you that can make way more content. So I think it's a myth that it's easy money. And I think that people just don't enjoy it. Like,
I didn't mean by saying it's easy money. I feel like it's in our nature to be sexually.
No, I'm just saying, like, just for people that are listening. Yeah. And I think for me personally, I just don't want to be objectified. I spent my whole life being objectified in different ways, and I've blocked that out and channeled that out. And like, you say one thing, you get blocked on my Instagram. So I'm not going to put myself in a position to get objectified, even though there are people who do it in different ways. Like, there's celebrities who just show pics, like cute pics, like hot pics, not like their privates and stuff.
I think what you ladies are trying to say is that at the end of the day, it's more fulfilling and rewarding to be successful in network marketing than it is to be on OnlyFans.
100%.
For me, yes.
After the hard work.
For me,
and for some people it's different. Yeah. But for in general, I think, and for you ladies, yeah.
For me, yes. And for me, I feel like it just adds towards my value. Like, I always work towards becoming more of a person of value. Now, I'm not saying that these OnlyFans girls are not of value. They bring something to the table, but I feel like I add more when I know how to impact, how to bring value to the world and help people in some sort of way. Yeah. So that's my choice. I always choose to grow be a person of value, and I just feel like going down that route is not increasing my value whatsoever. So
that was good. So this was another great 40-minute podcast.
Rakan's like, don't 2 hours.
Rakan's belly is grumbling.
We are approaching 2 hours.
It's
We're an hour
midnight.
40.
Wow.
Ladies, we'll ask you guys what your goals are for this upcoming year.
Damn, we still going?
2023.
Okay.
2023 will be the last. You have any other questions? That's my last one. That's it.
No more questions for me.
Because this will be a good, cap to the episode.
Yeah.
Dre, what is your goals? What are your goals?
I have a lot.
For 2023. Let's give us your
few.
two big ones. 2 major goals that you want to accomplish in 2023. Let's go.
I have them right on my phone.
Nice.
I want to purchase
Wallpaper. I like that. It's our lock screen.
I can't see.
It's my lock screen.
Nice.
Do you want to go first? Go.
Yeah, sure. I'd say 2 that I could just think of the top of my head. I have a whole list of them, but I want to purchase more properties this year. It's one of my goals. And my second goal is to go to the gym every day.
Love. You've been
Which
doing it, though.
I already failed a little bit, but it's okay. For the most part, go to the gym every day. No, I went today.
That's good.
But it's been my Christmas and stuff, so the first week was a little hard. But I've been, I think, 3 times this
good goal.
First week.
Love.
Yeah.
I'll read you my goals quickly here. Increase my income, of course, so 150K a month. Retire my mom. So once I do hit that, I'll retire my mom for sure. 10x my crypto portfolio, 10x my real estate portfolio, 10x all my investments, and find the love of my life. The love of my life will find me, and family.
I love that.
2023. So
I love that.
those are my goals.
All my friends.
That was it.
First of all, I appreciate our friendship
Yeah, me too.
for 9 motherfucking years.
I know it's been a couple
Almost
of
a
years.
decade next year.
Yeah, we've grown so much.
There's a video we took in your house, me, you, and Jazz, before we joined iGenius. And we're like, one day we're gonna be top network marketers, and I'm gonna play it back when that happens.
Yeah,
Oh.
we're
I know
almost
you're there, but we got some catching up to do.
we're getting
okay?
there. We're getting there.
It'll happen.
Maybe we put that video on there. Send the video.
Love
Send
it.
the video.
Yeah, that was a good
Well, I
one.
appreciate you guys for your time today.
Love.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. I know y'all
Thank you, Vlad.
traveling.
Thank you, Rakan.
You guys are traveling tomorrow?
Thank you.
Going to Montreal.
Yeah.
Awesome. I know y'all have some big teams out there. And we're going to rock this year together.
Yes, we are.
Yes,
this
we are.
is
We got some plans.
Thank you
this
for having
is
us.
Success After Dark.
After dark. With that being said, my friends, thank you very much. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.